Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast with Phil Graham. We help you master Facebook ads and give you an unfair advantage over your competition. Are you ready? Let's go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, episode 432. Phil Graham here, and I'm glad you're here as well. On August 19th, 2025, I've got a great episode for you guys today. Great show. I'm going to be talking about 3 easy ways to generate better ad hooks for your Facebook and Instagram ads in less than 5 minutes, my friends. Hooks are so important. You could have the best product, the best service, even the best ad in the world after the hook. And if you don't have a good hook to get their attention and see it, then it's not going to matter. And here's the deal. Everybody gets stuck. You've got a great idea. You want to promote a product or service. So you get ready to write an ad and you're like, oh man, nothing sounds right. It's just not working. You might even use ChatGPT or Grok or some other AI service, and you're not just finding the right hook. Don't wait around for inspiration. You got to have a strategy that can work. And I use a few quick tricks that I've learned over the years to really snap out of that and help start generating better hooks in just a few minutes. And so today, like I said, I'm going to share 3 of my favorite ways that help me break through and generate hooks even when I don't have any on the top of my mind. Now, I want to keep this episode short, sweet, and full of value and very actionable for you guys. Before we jump in, I did want to remind you, if you guys are looking for some help with your ads, maybe you want an audit of your current ads. You don't really want to work with somebody. You just want a one-time audit. That's something I do for a lot of clients. Maybe you do want to work with somebody and learn one-on-one, or maybe you want somebody to run your ads for you. For any of those things, you can get in touch with me by going to my website, philgrahamdigital.com, or just DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital, and I would love to connect with you. So you guys, whether you're writing an ad from scratch, maybe you're using AI to help you come up with some ideas, or you're trying to refresh an existing ad that needs a little, new touch to it, the hook is everything. It's what either stops the scroll or makes it so people never even pay attention to what you have. And if your hook falls flat, like I said earlier, nothing else will matter. So here are 3 quick ways that I use to come up with stronger hooks, and it usually takes me less than 5 minutes. And this is not just for any one kind of business. I do this for so many different types of clients. And you can do this too. Number 1, I want you to go in and really look at and really mine your reviews or comments. Be like a little coal miner. You're digging through everything. Look at the reviews of your product or service. If you have reviews, any kind of comments you receive on social media, in your email, or anywhere else, those can be valuable. Those can be like gold. In fact, you want to look at what your customers or clients are saying, and you want to use their exact words if it makes sense. Look for the exact phrases that they use to describe what their problem or challenge is, or what the benefit was or outcome was of using your product or service. And then also anything that might relate to any objections that your product or service helped them overcome. Those things are like gold. There's so many times I'll be working with a client, even clients that have really good businesses that make a lot of money, for example. And I'm like, hey, have you asked your clients or your customers why they bought from you, or what was the number one reason they did? And it blows my mind that so many of these companies didn't think to do that. Now, I don't blame them because they've got like 1,074 other things to do. And that's part of what I'm here for. So this is really important. Anything that you have from your clients or customers through reviews, comments, feedback, or anything like that can be a gold mine. So let me just give you a random example. Let's say you were selling, coffee with caffeine that, helps keep you awake or something. Instead of just writing, are you struggling to stay focused in your ad? Which wouldn't be a bad way to go. Like that's something you could test as a hook. But instead, what if you got somebody that commented something like this? I tried this coffee, so and so coffee, and it's literally the first time I made it through a full day of work without crashing at 2 or 3 o'clock. If that's what they said from their own words, then there's a good chance that other people are going to relate to that. And that might just be a great hook for your ad. So try and look through your customers' words, their comments, their reviews, their objections, all that stuff. And when you're coming up with a hook, when it makes sense, use their exact language and phrases. It can really hit harder. And then obviously you want to add your own stuff to it after that. Number two, another great thing I like to do is when I'm coming up with a hook, instead of a hook that tries to cover everything, I start with what I call a micro moment. So I try and kind of zoom in on a single basic relatable moment that the audience experiences. So for example, another random example, instead of starting off with a hook of, hey, are you tired of hormone issues? Okay, it could still be okay, but it's still kind of general. What if you said something like, have you ever stood in the kitchen and forgot why you walked in there? Or it's 2 p.m. and you're already on your third coffee because you're tired. Do you know why? Any of those could potentially do well, but the last two are what I would call micro moments. They could be what people are feeling or experiencing in real time in their life. And hooks that describe moments can feel real and help get people's attention. And also, if you describe a micro moment that they're actually thinking or experiencing, sometimes it helps them trust you because they know that you understand what they're going through. So again, there could be tens of thousands of micro moments and hooks that you can come up with. There's so many different ways to go about this, and it's very different based off of every product and service. And whether you're solving a problem or giving somebody joy, there's always a way you can go. But what kind of micro moment could you test as an ad hook today? Think about it and test it and put it into action. And last but not least, number 3, I love testing what I would call contrasting ad hooks. So this could be done a number of different ways. You could do like a before and after or a this versus that format. Obviously, you have to be very careful with before and after when it comes to ads. This isn't just about images. This is really more about ad hooks in terms of ad copy. So if you're thinking about before and after, thinking about describing what somebody's life was like before they used your product or service versus now. And then an example for a this versus that format, you could say, let's say you had a coaching program. You could say, this isn't just a coaching program, it's a coaching accelerator. Just the difference between program and accelerator kind of puts it into a different context. Now, do I think that's a great hook or a great headline? Not really. It was just off the top of my head. Obviously, if I was coming up with your hook, I would spend more time and be more focused on your exact situation. But I just wanted to give you an example so you kind of know what I mean when I say contrasting hooks. But it's all about showing some kind of transformation that somebody has had with your product or service. The before and after, the this versus that, or anything like that. And where do you want to put it? If it's a video, you want that to be the first thing you say. You should have it in your headline, or at least part of it. And you definitely want to have it at the beginning of your ad, the very first thing that it says. It's so important. And then a little bonus tip for you guys is don't try and write the perfect hook. I mean, yes, go ahead and try, but don't overthink it. Don't spend 8 hours trying to write a hook and then you come up with nothing because you're frustrated because you don't think it's perfect. I would rather have you write 5 or 6 hooks really fast, pick which one you like the best, and then run it and test it. If it doesn't work, test a different one or come to me and let me help you. But don't let perfection get in your way because a lot of times that really screws people up. So bottom line, the next time you guys are stuck, don't sit there with just a blank screen. Look at your reviews. Look at your feedback. Look at your comments. Look at what people have said to you, either on calls, Zooms, or in email. and see if there's something in there that might just be gold that other potential customers or clients would relate to. Think about using contrasting hooks and also micro moments. And these are things that could potentially help take you to the next level. And as always, just a reminder, it's always important to point out that every business is unique. Results can vary. There's no guaranteed outcomes. So always keep that in mind. So my friends, episode 432 is in the books. I hope it's super helpful for you. Don't just listen, put this stuff into action. And if you need more help, philgrahamdigital.com is the website. I would love to connect with you. Otherwise, hope you have a great rest of the week, and I will talk to you on next week's episode. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and share this with all your friends. For show notes, more tips, and to learn more about Phil, please visit philgrahamdigital.com/podcast.